This cute plant is called Hoya brevialata, and actually got this from Steve's Leaves. And it's been growing extremely well. I have this, he technically grows a little bit more of terrarium varieties, and this is one that requires a little bit more moisture and a little bit more humidity. It is originally from Sulawesi and is an epiphyte, so it does require a little bit more of a barkier mix and a more well-draining mix, although it does like to maintain a little bit more moisture than usual. However, I don't have this in my own potting mix. I actually have this in the same potting mix that I got from the grower, because you'll see that I have this in its nursery pot and also in this kind of cache pot here. I am growing this in a little bit more of a northeast facing aspect, so this gets a nice gentle light, and you can actually see that there's some new growth kind of happening around here. And you might actually also see that it has these little nodes or adventitious roots that are kind of growing that will kind of clamber and will vine, but this can also be clipped if it gets too long, and you could actually root those up pretty easily. I could already see from this particular plant that this is an easy one to root. I also kind of like how the leaves kind of clasp downwards, so it's kind of like this little bit more of a cupped leaf, and maybe I could show you that from here. So even though these leaves are curling, it's not a sign that it's not doing well, it's just the way that its leaves are actually formed. As far as watering goes, this does like to maintain a little bit of moisture, so whether you're giving that as far as humidity, so a little bit more moderate to high humidity, or whether you're giving that with a little bit more even moisture in the soil, then that's going to actually benefit this particular plant. But you don't want to keep the roots too moist, because like most Hoya, it is still an epiphyte and it is a little bit more of a succulent variety, so it doesn't need that much or tremendous amount of moisture, otherwise it'll actually end up dying on you, and you don't want that to happen. As far as fertilizing goes, I'm doing that on a bi-weekly basis during the growing season, so that's spring, summer, and fall. And I'm giving it an organic fertilizer just because Hoya are not heavy feeders and they don't require too much excess nutrients. So if you're giving this a little bit more of a synthetic fertilizer, then I would probably cut it back by half and do it more on a monthly basis. But otherwise, this has been a really fun plant to grow. I'd love to hear if you're growing this plant and what your experiences have been. And I'd imagine this would actually also be a really nice terrarium plant, although I haven't been growing it in a terrarium, so I wouldn't be able to know.